Obviously, we won't see the squad till tomorrow, will we? Just give us a sense of how challenging maybe it's been to settle on the side for Sunday.
Yeah, a really pleasant challenge. If you look at sort of where we was this time 12 months ago, particularly after round one, I think we lost a fair few in that first game, and to be in a situation where we're almost at full capacity in terms of selection is probably a credit to the S&C and a credit to the medical department as well.
What are Jacob Miller's chances?
Yeah, good. He's available. For selection. So I think players not available, obviously Kieran Hudson, that'll be for the rest of the year. Danny Richardson, Callum McClelland, and I believe there's one more. That possibly might be it. It might only be those three. So in terms of availability, I'm really pleased with where we're at going into round one.
Those are good headaches, aren't they? But they are headaches. What do you say to the guys that aren't featuring on Sunday?
Yeah, I think some tough conversations. I think it's more of a case of it's what other fellas have done really well rather than you doing something to not get selected. It's difficult. We would have loved to have had the 3 fixtures to go at in pre-season. Unfortunately, one of those got cancelled, which sort of affected minutes, particularly for the middles. So it sort of diluted their game time a little bit throughout pre-season. But there's some blokes going to miss out on Sunday that's had a good pre-season and performed well in the pre-season friendlies as well. So, but it is a long season. I can guarantee you, we won't be picking the same 17 2 times on the run too many times throughout the year. So they've got to be ready to go at the drop of a hat, and their response has got to be a positive one as well.
Having said all that, how ready do you feel the group are for Sunday, or are you one of those coaches that could always do with an extra week?
Yeah, no, I'm pleased with how pre-season's gone. It's the most excited I've been for a while in terms of the start of the season. So, looking forward to watching the game tonight and seeing it all get off the ground again. And the roller coaster begins.
What do you put that excitement down to then? Is it possibly the potential of this group?
Yeah, I think so. Just if you look at where we was 12 months ago to where we are now, I feel a lot more comfortable in the group, in their understanding of what we want from them as well. And I just feel excited about the season and really looking forward to it.
What about Hull on Sunday then? What sort of gauge can you get on their challenges?
Yeah, not much. Not a great deal. Obviously, the Sheffield game wasn't a pretty game to watch on the eye, and then the Wakefield game that obviously Wakefield put probably a weakened side out, and again difficult to gauge. But we can have a look at their individuals. There's a little bit of detail in what they do. There's some areas. I just think these early rounds are very much about yourselves and getting your systems right and making sure everybody's on the same page for those. And ultimately nobody's quite match fit yet. So it's making sure you get some Ks on the clock and try and get some match fitness as soon as you possibly can.
Joe, you've not mentioned Joe there in the players that aren't available. Does that mean that Joe will be playing at the weekend?
If he gets selected, he's available, definitely, yeah. So, I'm sure he's going to have a blast at the KC Stadium.
In your thinking, in your head this week, how many teams have you actually come up with that you'll play on Sunday?
Yeah, no, the 13 I've sort of had in my head for a week or so. We've obviously spoke about it as a staff, but the bench has bounced a little bit throughout the week, obviously. But yeah, I feel quite content with the 17 I name. I really hope they sort of justify their selection in their performance. I I really hope the response from the guys not involved is a really positive one as well. And they knuckle down and really take their opportunity when it comes.
And just one last one again, because we're not seeing the squad or anything. Have you spoken to Joe about whether he's actually up for playing this week? You know what I mean?
I think he'll be up for playing. Yeah, definitely.
Just a quick one on starting seasons. Well, you mentioned, no one's match fit. Yada yada yada. You've had contrasting starts for coach. You've had really good starts. You've had different starts. How important is it, in all seriousness, in the grand context of things, to have a good start or not a bad start?
Yeah, I think notoriously, I'd say I don't think it's really important. I think it's how you finish is ultimately where your season wants to go. Peaking in February and March probably ain't on everybody's priorities across the competition. But I just think if you look at our start to the year and the fixtures in particular, there's some really challenging fixtures in there. I just think it'd give us a great gauge and a great indication of sort of where we're at and where we're going to be at in 2023. So yeah, I want to get off to a good start and maintain it rather than, like last year, start slow and sort of finish strong.
I won't go into detail about the Westerman incident, but how's he doing mentally after it? How's he bounced back?
Mental. He's mental. No, he's all right. He's all right. He's Joe, He's been himself, I suppose. Obviously Monday sort of knocked us about a little bit, but since then he's trained well and put his best foot forward for selection, and he's one of, like I said, a number of players who have had a good pre-season, and players I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do as a collective for 2023.
How have the lads been with him? Because it can be quite a harsh environment, can't it? But it's obviously a sensitive subject at the same time.
Yeah, no, it's the rugby environment's a unique one, as I'm sure you can expect. It's not your stereotype.
Yeah, all right, we'll leave it there. But as a coach, is there anything you can do to prepare him for what's going to come his way this weekend from the crowd?
No, I think the easy one is to play well, isn't it? That's the best way to silence the crowd. But then, as a group, we want to play well. As a team, we want to play well, and we want to knock our first result off of the season. So, I'm sure Joe will be as motivated as anybody else, on the field on Sunday if he's to participate.
Knowing him as well as you do you expect him to perform and come out with a good performance?
Yeah, I've seen him. He's had some throughout his career. He's had, he's rode a rocky road, driven a rocky road, I suppose. So I've seen him. He's had some other setbacks throughout his career off the field, but he's always responded in a good manner. And mentally he's a tough fella. Yeah,
just on Hull, they've virtually got a new spine on, and there might be a couple of your old mate Danny Houghton might be in there. But what are you expecting from the likes of Texoy, Jake Clifford?
I don't know, to be honest. Again, I think I'm more worried about sort of us staying connected on our kick chase than I am what they're going to do, if that makes sense. I think this week these early fixtures are very much about finding a little bit about yourself and a little bit out about yourself, dealing with a bit of adversity, and obviously, like I said, physically challenging yourself and getting yourself up to speed, for a long campaign.
Just how excited are you to see your spine back and playing? Evans has had a bit of injury, he's recovered injury. Miller, you said, is available. How excited are you to finally see a full strength Castleford spine?
Yeah, I hope, I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope, we get to see it an awful lot this year. I think, like you say, last year, Niall went down really, really early. Gaz O'Brien broke his back round one, and then from there it was just seemed to chop and change every week. So, I said it a couple of weeks ago, a month or two ago. I just think the more games they can string together, this goes without saying, the better we're going to be. There's some fantastic footballers in there, in Niall, in Gaz Widdop, in Jacob Miller, and in Paul McShane. I just hope they can get that chemistry right, first and foremost, and then maintain that chemistry every week, because that's such an impact on your season when important players like that are available for selection.
You've called it your curse in the past with player injuries. Is there something different you can do during pre-season to sort of prevent these long-term injuries, or is it just going to be part and parcel of the game?
Yeah, I think it's funny. I think there's some, certainly you can look to improve your soft tissue injuries. You can make adjustments to your training to try and get that better. Facilities are sometimes I play a part in that. But I think contact and collision sport. You look at Danny Richardson's injury last year; it was freakish. He goes to kick a ball out and he's in goal, and someone smashes through the back of his side of his knee. There's not a great deal you can do about that. That's just, unfortunately, that's the luck of the draw. And like I say, we seem to have had a lot of that bad luck last year, and hopefully we've used all that up.
Yeah, just a quick one. Everyone was talking about Cass and Hull on Sunday, but obviously you had a big foot in the Samoa camp in the World Cup. The billing the World Club Challenge was a bit of an England versus Samoa clash between Saints and Penrith. How do you see that one going on Saturday morning?
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to watching it. I hope for our competition, St Helens, put a really good showing. I watched the game obviously last weekend, and I love the intensity they started the game with. I think it'd be different gravy this weekend. I think Penrith are, arguably the best team in the world, and I think you're probably going to see that again at weekend. But I really hope, like I say, for our competition in this side of the world, that we go and put our best foot forward. I'd love for St Helens to win. I think it'd be a real shot in the arm for Super League. But my gut tells me that I think Penrith might just have a bit too much for them.